High speeds are one of the most looked at parts of a player's profile. Whenever I see a new person or I'm checking out someone on the leaderboards, the first thing I look at is the high speed, and I'm sure many of you guys are the same. High speeds are great. They can be used to show your progression as a typist, how you've gotten better and faster over the years, and they can actually show, how fast you really typed. High speeds are, in my opinion, they're great. However, high speeds aren't always correct. In fact, they're very often misleading or just straight up wrong. What I mean by this is not every high speed you see is how fast the person can actually type. So a couple months ago, I really started getting interested in the idea of getting fake high speeds. This is something that I've known about since whenever I joined the community back 3 years ago. However, getting fake high speeds is nothing new to Nitro, right? People have been doing it for a very long time. And there's a bunch of different, tactics or cheats or little things that people can use to get their high speed faster than what it should be. And I will be going over all of the ones I can just think of off the top of my head in this video and show you guys that when you see someone's high speed, you kind of want to second guess yourself. Sometimes it might not be the correct high speed. So let's get into the 3 or 4, half a dozen things that I think can get you a fake or illegitimate high speed on Nitro. However, before we get into that, what makes a legitimate high speed? What is an example of a legit high speed? Well, I personally think that a legitimate high speed is a race done by yourself at a speed zone that is close to your average. So for instance, here's an example of what I consider to be a legit high speed. If I were to be in the 120 to 140 zone, makes sense because I average 138, and I were to type myself 168 words per minute, that would be considered a legitimate high speed. It was done by me, it was in a speed zone that was close to my average, and there's no fancy tips or tricks and gimmicks going on. So that's what's considered a legit high speed, at least in my opinion. Now, here are some of the examples of ways that you can get an illegitimate high speed. The first one is bursting. For those of you who might not know, bursting is when you type extremely fast for an extremely short amount of time. It's like sprinting, right? And bursting can be used to get a really, really good speed on Nitro. For instance, if you were to lower your average down to about 30 to 40 words per minute and then burst a 10-second text, a 5-second text, you could get a much faster speed than normal. For instance, I actually tried this out last night at 2 a.m. Even though I was tired, sore from my workout, I managed to type 157 words per minute, as you can see here, on my first try. However, in order to do this just completely randomly, I had to set my average down to 50 to 60 words per minute. And as you can see here are all the races that were extremely slow. And with this strategy of setting my speed down to an extremely slow speed, and then bursting super, super quickly, I was able to just get a 157 in 5 minutes. Which is pretty funny, because 157 is the 6th or 7th fastest I've ever typed. So it's a very, very good speed for me. And if I were to do this for an extended period of time, like an hour, 2 hours, I would most likely be able to break my high speed of 164. So, tons of people use this all the time. For instance, user Universal Legend had a 187 burst in 1.28 seconds yesterday to get a high speed. As you can see, his speed zone was in the 1 to 10 words per minute speed zone, which meant that the text was incredibly short. Another example of this could be the leaderboard where Jose, Dragon City Jose, Leafy, whatever you want to call him, in which I've heard, his 201 high speed was actually bursted from the 1 to 10 words per minute speed zone. And even though you might look at Jose and be like, hey, that's a pretty fast typist, in fact, his high speed is, a burst high speed. So you can see this example everywhere, and it's probably the easiest / most safe one to do. It's definitely the safest. So that is bursting extremely fast from a very short amount of text. The second example of getting an illegitimate high speed is actually getting a faster typist on your account to do it for you. Now this might be incredibly confusing to some people. However, there is actually a thing where people ask a faster person to go on their account and get a high speed for them. I have been asked to get high speeds for people. Someone DMs me on Discord, they're like, hey Penguin, here's my account information, can you get a high speed for me? I see this happening in the community all the time, where someone like VL or Josh or Pandora is asked to go on someone's account and get a high speed for them. If it works, it is extremely effective. Obviously, a faster typist will be able to get a better high speed for you. However, these high speeds usually look more fake because they're usually much faster than what is considered to be reasonable for that typist. You know, for instance, if I were to get a 175 speed with my bursting, that would look somewhat legit. It's actually possible. However, if a 40 words per minute typist were to get VL to get like a 180 for them, then that would probably be considered, wait a second, there's something's up here, right? However, it works. If you wanna trust someone to do that, by all means, whatever. I don't recommend it because it's a great way to get your account stolen, but people love getting their account stolen on this site, so why not? The third thing is probably, either the most dumb or the most just straight up dumb. And some people actually use it. Botting a high speed on Nitro. Yes, that's actually a thing. So some people in this community decide that it's a great idea to let a bot on their race for one race to get them a new high speed on Nitro. And if you don't get caught, it works, right? I could potentially bot a 169 tomorrow, and people would probably be, I could potentially bot a 169 tomorrow, right? I could do it. And people would probably be like, wait a second, seems legit. However, botting is also a good way to get banned. And I know I have to say it like that. I know it sounds very stupid, but if you use, the wrong bot, it's a great way to get your account banned from the site and with no unban. I've never tried botting a high speed. I've never tried botting on my main account. It's a very dumb thing to do. And I don't know if botting for a singular race will automatically get you banned. I mean, botting for 30k doesn't get you banned. Jetfly. But if it does work out, if you don't get banned, people have used it quite often in the past to bot high speeds on their main accounts. Another reason that this is considered to be like a good tactic is because you can set the words per minute to be whatever you want. For instance, I could choose the bot to go 166 words per minute, and that would be considered to be pretty much legit because everyone would be like, yeah, that's fair, Penguin can type that fast, right? I haven't yet, but it's reasonable. However, again, if someone who averages like 50 tries to go 180 with their bot, there's a much better chance that someone figures it out and gets them banned. So that's the reason so there's a couple clues you can find to see whether someone's high speed is fake or not. However, if they do it right, if they do it smartly, if they don't tell anyone that it's fake, it's pretty easy to pull off a fake high speed and make it look legitimate. Again, for instance, if I were to, ask Pandora to go on my account and do a 167 tomorrow or something like that, and he didn't say anything, if I didn't say anything, it could potentially be considered to be a real high speed. If I bought it on my account and I got 168 and I didn't get banned, a lot of people would think that's a legitimate high speed. If I bursted from the 1 to 10 words per minute zone and got 167 or something, right, a lot of people would consider that to be a real high speed. So it's really easy to get fooled, and I don't really have any I don't really have any advice for trying to figure out whose high speeds are fake and whose aren't. Just know that not every high speed on this website is what it looks like, right? Some people might have a 205 high speed when in reality they can hardly average 150. Some people might have a 140 high speed when they've never typed past 130 before, right? However, we just have to hope for the good in people to get actually real high speeds and not do any of that. But using all these examples, I think I've pretty much proven that there's a bunch of different ways that people can get illegitimate high speeds very easily on this website. Kind of sad, but oh well. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I know this video was kind of like a rush job. Not really, but like, it's not the highest of quality that I've been looking for. I've been working on a couple massive projects with some of my friends, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. I just had to make a video for today because the editing took too long. The other video, it's a whole hassle, okay? Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, everyone, and have, as always, a wonderful day.